in the defensive spawn here. It looks like Spike not actually going to go down yet because Mixwell's made his way into Hookah. He's going to deny that right now, but Flash will find pyth with the classic. Now Mixwell going to try and make something work here. 2v3 retake situation here for G2.
Yeah, his teammates not very healthy either. Very low is the Sova. Maxic is just going to wait here on site. Should be able to tag one, but Mixwell isn't going to flash. ardiis should never have gotten that kill. And he just taps the spike, but unfortunately gets hit through the smoke. Razorconee doing enough here to give Apexis a round lead. And very much a needed round lead as well. I like the sheer amount of aggression on the pistol, just pushing straight through Hookah. Okay, they didn't get the spike down immediately, but a decent amount of patience from them to recognize they were being spotted from multiple angles. If they had tried to plant that willy-nilly and just been caught out, then that might have been an easy round for G2. But decent work from Apexis and Razorconee, especially just staying alive and recognizing where that bomb was planted and getting the shots through the smoke.
Yeah, and I mean, you can argue the pistol round on attack is the bigger one to win as well. Again, just because of the way the economy plays out, it's always interesting to see. And now we're going to have a little bit of a push from Apexis towards A. We've got a 2-2 across short and showers. Mixwell got himself into the position with a shorty. Will they clear this? There we are, going to clear it, but Mixwell's going to find one. Flash is there to trade out with the Bulldog, though, negating some of that threat. But now pyth's going to try and take contact. Going for the jumping classic. Flash will find that one with the Bulldog as well. David all the way up in heaven. He's got himself a little scope to look over A site, but we're going to see now the read on this is perfect from Apex. There's no push coming out on B. They know with the picks they've already got now, they should have themselves an entry for free. Razor just going to jump up, and actually David nearly catching something there. Not going to find anything, but fully expecting Spike to go down here. Difficult retake, 2v4 for G2. See if they can make anything work.
Yeah, going to walk right into the SMG of Tarduu, but ardiis says, I don't give a damn what weapon you've got. I'm just going to be able to push in. Razorconee at least gets the trade, and it's just going to be Davidp on his own. He doesn't fancy any of this. Did have the Marshal, so he's just going to retreat and probably save that one. Important to see a couple of just confidence kills, I feel, for Apexis. I mean, I know it's an eco round, but a player like Flash, who struggled in the previous game, he went 7-15 in both games, so 14-30 overall. He's not going to have any confidence coming into this whatsoever, but just picking up a couple of frags early on at least will allow him to gain somewhat amount of momentum and belief in himself that he can actually get kills in these top-tier lobbies. For Apexis, though, a 2-0 lead and maybe an exit frag for Davidp. There's one. Can he find a second? He does get the reload. Looks to the right, and that is going to be damage done. Maybe get 3. No, he connects, but there's armor. Can't quite do it onto Razorconee, but Davidp putting on a show.
Yeah, and I mean, Mixwell got the MVP, but special shout out to David. He looked really impressive throughout the entire series for me. Again, making plays on Sage, and I mean, he was making it look easy as well. That flank on Haven just keeps playing back in my head, Dan. That was a highlight of that first series from G2.
I mean, especially because he's a Sage, right? And he just had that confidence.
Yeah, exactly. The expectation factor is also to be considered.
Well, now the first rifle round available for G2 then. Of course, Apexis will have a couple of SMGs, but taking a look at the Sova dart meant that he was vulnerable to be shot through the smoke. Max will at least get the trade onto Pat, and we're in a 4 versus 4 as ardiis just scouts with a little bit more information with the Sova.
I'm not entirely sure why he let it ping him there. Like, he looked at the recon bolt, he had a chance to destroy it. That's sloppy there from Apexis to lose one in that. But, I mean, nice setup nonetheless. We are going to see the push coming out onto B here. Mixwell's actually going to lose his life at long outside the TP. That's going to give Apexis control of the site here. David inside elbow. Cage will go down and a tripwire as well. But see, the bait has been put down. The rotation comes out, and this is what I love about Bind. Sell the fake. Both players coming over there. Now they're in a position. 2v3 retake. pyth is on short. There you go. Tarduu finds him. That's going to leave David, the last member, again.
Certainly doable from David, though. Finds the first. Don't think he spotted the second member on default, and it's a 1 versus 2. They're both at a healthy total at the moment. Does have his own heals in 2 seconds, so if he does get tagged down from this second one, will he spot the player on short or default? He's looking lamps at the moment, but doesn't see Flash, just waiting for him on the default spot. And that's going to be 3-0 now to Apexis, and that's going to send G2's economy right back down into the ground, and that's exactly what Apexis needed. This is also what happened previously for G2 when they went up against Fabricant. They weren't able to get that third round on the board, found themselves going 4 down before they then chained together 6 rounds in a row on Bind. And maybe G2 just haven't been able to find that aggression that they once found on the defensive side, just being able to push down B long. Sorry, I know they got 1 frag there, but they weren't able to follow up and get multiple.
Like I was saying, Dan, just to come back to that, that was really weird. I don't know if there was just a communication issue there, but obviously Bacyx turned around to face the recon bolt, and then he kind of paused for a second, and it pinged him, and obviously the smoke came down the bottom of B long. It's a free kill there. Again, you said he turned his back, and I didn't quite understand that. Maybe that was a comm issue there, but David actually going to find Maxic for free. Maxic not checking Cubby. pyth going to find Bacyx as well. Razor will trade 1 out here. But looking like we're going to get some action again on the A side. pyth finding Tarduu with the Sheriff headshot as well. Hunter Fury coming out. Does get 1 tag. Pat will follow up with the Ghost, and Razor will fall.
How have they managed to achieve this, G2? Flash finds 2, but pyth will be there to get the trade and get the first round for
Great
G2.
turnaround.
Sloppiness from Apexis there, not checking the Cubby. And that really just set up the round for G2, getting that opening pick, getting that information. Apexis just not looking good enough, in my opinion, in that particular round, but they can shrug it off. They're still 3-1 up, but this certainly will allow G2 back into things.
I was going to say, dare I say it, they've hit their 3-round quota. Are we going to see this turn around now, Dan?
Well, that's the worry, isn't it?
The 3 rounds is the most they've got on the board so far in any of their maps, but hopefully not. Hopefully we don't get a stomp for the rest of the game.
Well, you say hopefully. G2 fans say, well, actually, we wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of a stomp and seeing what G2 have to offer. ardiis will just take down the Boombot, and he's going to retreat out of hookah here because he'll get the information. There is going to be several members pushing up short, and they only have stingers to work with. Their economy was set right back down because of G2 winning that round, which is why it was so detrimental that Apexis did struggle. Davidp gets the opener. G2 ardiis as well. I mean, Flash and Razorconee just walked right into his bullets. Maybe Bacyx could do something. No, he can't. That's going to be 3-2 in G2, just cleaning up that round as they rightly should. And now money will be really, really tight for Apexis.
Yeah. I mean, again, though, David finding first blood on B long to open that up. And again, it kind of forces the push out of Apexis. At that point, you know, I mean, ardiis is there in hookah taking contact. He only spots 1 on the owl drone. He only saw Maxic on the owl drone. Obviously tagged him up as well, but again, pushing in to get that, and unfortunately line up for him, picks up a double kill. But David, again, just finding the first blood completely unopposed.
An interesting force up there from Apexis, to be honest. They've left themselves in a pretty tricky spot with their economy, and now G2 should be able to take advantage of this. pyth is going to get enough information, and David was there as well. It's just easy pickings for them at this point, and the remaining players from Apexis are just going to retreat. It's going to be Tarduu left on his own. We had the information, we had the interview from him where he said they're not going to be scared of anyone, but maybe he should be scared of G2, but he finds 1, can't get the second. 3-3, G2 right back into things now. But Apexis can get a full rifle buy. They didn't really manage their economy smartly, in my opinion, at the start of this game, so I'd like to see them do a little bit better moving forward.
Yeah, we love those juicy eco frags, but T2 cleaning it up. No sweat at all. Now, see the operator back in the hands of Mixwell. See, maybe looks like ardiis is going to look for a recon play out of hookah here. We see something a little bit different from G2. Obviously, Apexis is now on a buy round, so I'm not expecting him to go all out here. But again, just this early information here could be an opening for G2, so they look to punish it. Now ardiis sends the owl drone out. He's going to have vision on Razor, and you can see Razor pull all the way back to the spawn side. Now Maxic going to swing out. Are we going to see Apexis collapse onto B here? ardiis has already rotated back through defensive spawn now, and that puts 4 G2 members on A. You see the spike is in market right now, and it looks like, funnily enough, Apexis are pulling back this direction, Dan.
In Cypher, we trust. When B site is trapped up like that and you've got cameras, it almost works out as 2 people being on that site, and it looks like Apexis are going to go right into this stack from G2. One member in showers, the rest going to be on short. At least they get the first onto ardiis. The res comes out onto Bacyx as well. So now they can push onto this A site. Tarduu also taking down Pat, but here comes Mixwell with the op. Gets the first, does get the information to the team, and he can move his way into lamps. Smokes are up. One goes up over truck. Showstopper takes down Davidp, and Tarduu is there to clean up Mixwell as well. A lot better from Apexis here. And just one remaining player is going to be pyth for G2. But in a 1 versus 4, I'm not particularly hopeful for G2's chances, and maybe pyth just needs to think about trying to damage the economy a little bit here with a couple of exit frags.
Yeah, again, at this point, damage the economy. That's all you can really do in this situation. Oh, okay, as I say that, Tarduu gets caught with a spy cam in his hand. And pyth will find 2 now. 1v2 situation. Time not on his side, but could be winnable here, Dan. Oh,
Well, yeah, he had to hold it. He had to at least try and get it halfway before he came off it.
If he could have got halfway, maybe gets the first pick. But again, I mean, Bacyx was 9 HP. I think Razor was down to about half. So it was definitely a chance there. But the Blade Storm negating the defuse.
Well, at least for Apexis, they're back on track, and they're not going to allow the 6 rounds in a row for G2 like we saw against Fabricant. G2 still plenty of money to work with, their economy pretty healthy at this point. And the fact that pyth was able to do so much damage on the opposite side is just going to be good news for them. We'll see whether they focus on the B site this time, considering the A site push was their last one, and we see so many teams just flipping there and there between trying to be unpredictable, but Bacyx gets the opener onto pyth elsewhere. And the op picks are so important, not just on this map, but in general. Pat gets the second onto Tarduu, and now means he can push onto the site and give that information to the rest of the team. Are we going to see anything happen from short here? Flash doesn't have any flashes because he's playing as a Brimstone, but Pat is going to be there waiting. Will he get this sense of danger here and maybe spray through the smoke? He relays the smoke. David will res pyth and the spray down comes through, but can't find anything. Max will actually get the opener, wall come out, and the spike will go down here.
Yeah, default execute here with the Sage Wall, triple brim, sky smokes. Maxic planting just in front of the truck here. ardiis trying to negate some with one shock dart actually. Now he's going to put the recon into lamps. He's going to have information he heard both of them shoot there, so he knows there's 2 stacked up here. Shock dart going to do a lot of damage to Razor, but he's still going to shut him down with the Phantom. Maxic still holding strong on the outside. Razor will find a second, and so will Maxic. Good execute there coming out from Apexis.
Yeah, just very patient on short and maybe using the sky smokes of G2 against them. Waiting patiently in them, executing themselves when the time was right, and it was just important that the first player out of smoke had to face lamps. It's always a 50-50. Is someone going to be in lamps? Is someone going to be on the brown boxes? On this occasion, it worked out for them, and we can see the money's still decent for G2. They've got one more buy in them. Whoever loses this round could find themselves in a pretty sticky situation for another buy. So quite an important round in the grand scheme of this first half. And there's ardiis. It seems to be an op pick at the start of every round at the moment. Everyone facing each other. Everyone trying to go for those ego challenges. But it's G2 who come away the better in this particular occasion.
Yeah, and again, that first blood, the value, I guess, of getting first blood, especially on defense, is so huge. So again, if we're going to see this double operator setup come out from ardiis and Mixwell, fairly deadly. And again, A site, you know, you can stack 3 towards B if you have an operator playing A, especially if you're going to have a player like Mixwell. And actually, he's got a Phantom in hand this time around, but the operator's so strong for holding down bind on A. You can see ardiis now actually rotating over towards A side. David going to find Razor outside at the edge of market and then pull all the way back. Maxic going to try and peek him here, doesn't catch him on the way back in there. David actually goes but for a reach out outside, not converting any of that damage though. Both players will survive.
But again, the aggression defensively from G2 just proving effective there.
Love it.
Pushing up on short outside of Hookah as soon as they recognized no one was there, and then getting into a dangerous angle, which meant it was very difficult for Apexis to rotate round. David catches Tarduu trying to sneak up long as well. Just going to be 2 left at this point. At least Bacyx will get 1. But I don't think it's going to be enough to try and win the round. Instead, it's going to be trying to save at this point. 2 players for Apexis remain, and Max just has to be on damage control at this point. Mixwell tries to spot anyone outside short. No one's there, but it doesn't look like G2 want to lose any guns either. As I said, the economy wasn't great on both sides, so losing guns would not be a good idea right now.
No, it wouldn't. And I mean, so far so good for Apexis. Again, they've got 5 rounds on the board on attack. And again, if we're to believe, obviously, attack inside is the harder. We can see here the way the land lies. Again, I mean, just make the comparison here. Look at the work David is putting in. It's actually crazy to see him being this aggressive and it paying off for him so many times, just completely unpunished. And again, his ability to peel back and not lose his life in that previous round, get back into hook, it doesn't give Apexis an opportunity to push into B.
Especially when you consider the fact that G2 are a 4 looking for a 5th, and David is kind of filling right now, and like maybe it's kind of even like a tryout it feels, and he's just like, you know what, I'm a Sage, but I'm going to get aggressive, I'm going to get the kills, I'm going to show you guys what I'm made of. But it could have gone the other way. He could have found himself not finding those kills. As I say that, David gets yet another, and Apex is down to just 3 members. Maxic is just going to jump out of window here, and that's not going to work out for him. But at least Razorconee and Bacyx are there to get kills of their own. They make this at least somewhat doable in a 2 versus 3. But it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not. And I mean,